Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Cagayan, which is on the northernmost tip of the Philippines. This is part of the Philippines A Tropical Adventure pack, which is from Cli4D Designs, and a big thank you to Clifford for giving me the opportunity to fly this. He is a master at creating areas, so he creates detail, he creates an environment, and it's perfect for helicopter training, which is what we are going to be doing in this video. It's been a while since I've been up in the Huey, and as always, a great way of trying to keep yourself current is to challenge yourself a bit and fly in some beautiful scenery, but at the same time do some things that are a little bit tricky. And this is almost like a double bill of Clifford, because this is also his repaint of the Philippine Air Force 505th Rescue Livery, and it's the foremost humanitarian assistance and disaster response unit of the Philippine Air Force. So it's wonderful to be able to show you his repaint and also his scenery. It's kind of like I said, it's a Clifford double bill. So, worth saying from the outset, I am not an expert at flying the Huey. That's the whole point of this video, is for me to get some practice in. This isn't a tutorial. Sometimes people think that people make YouTube videos because they think they know it all and they want to show you how good they are at it. And in my case, yeah, certainly if you're a regular to the channel, you know that isn't the case. This is a training flight, and a training flight is me getting back to grips with the aircraft, learning the feel of it again, and having some fun. Anyway, I'll stop waffling. Let's get in and get going. Right, let the humiliation commence. Okay, so this is where I always wish I'd got an overhead setup for this helicopter. So circuit breakers are all in, so that's all good. Light switches are where I want them to be at this stage. Happy with that, and the inverters where it should be. We've got everything else set up here, our voltages, etc. Right, main generator is on. Let's have the battery on. Let's turn you off. There we go. So that's all good. Happy with that. Before I forget, let's do this. There we go. And then wind it back until it clicks. There we go. Fuel on. Let's check the gauge. That's all good. Fuel's going to come in handy. Just in case you were wondering, you probably figured it out. This is not a tutorial by any stretch of the imagination on how to start the Huey, but hopefully I'm not deviating too much from the checklist. I'm just trying to get in the air at the moment. Right, so got rid of the IFF lights. That's all good. Everything else is okay. We've got our force trim on. Hydraulics on, that's all good. Okay. Right, I'll try and shut up now and start her up. Where's that switch? There you are. Let's see if we get over. Where have you gone? I say it every time, but the sounds in this helicopter are just absolutely beautiful. Right, let's have the inverter onto main. Start generator to standby. That's all good. Should have put some lights on before, just to warn people that we were whapping a big blade around. No ambers there, so you get that nice warm fuzzy feeling. And we can reset the master caution, and we can slowly introduce some fuel. The sound really is just stunningly gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Right, so just doing a few things on my screen over on the other side. So let's get the map up. Where has the map gone? Just get that up. There we go. So I've plotted out a little bit of a route on a little nav map, just to give us an idea where we're going to go and to give us some practice. But the first thing I've got to do is dial into the helicopter, because it's been a while. The takeoff now, I'm telling you, is going to be very dodgy, purely because I am out of practice with it, but we'll do our best for sure. Right, let's just set up a few things. Okay, right, let's go. Let's do it. This is why I have to shut up and concentrate. Thank God I hear you say. Interesting. And I'll say it again, interesting. One of the things that I do notice is my collective doesn't feel right. But maybe that's because I've been flying the H-145, which has got quite a nice little way that you can adjust the collective sensitivity on the tablet, and I'm just trying to feel it out at the moment, trying to feel the biting point of the collective. The collective in this is of course very realistic to the helicopter, so I do have to get back into it and just feel for it. What I was finding was that I was having to move the lever a lot, and muscle memory from the H-145, it felt like nothing was happening, but I think it's just simply that I was just need to get used to the helicopter, which is at the end of the day what this flight is all about, is it not? Okay, let's now get some forward speed going. So again, this first part for me is just feeling everything out again. I do love how Clifford just adds life to these places. We are going to come back on ourselves. I'm just God, it'd be nice to be down on that beach right now, wouldn't it? See the rock detail that he's put in, it just makes it so much more realistic than the kind of standard rock that you get. See that down there? Always makes me wish I was on holiday. By the way, I'm conscious, if you did see the last video, which was a couple of days ago, it was the Comanche, an IFR flight in the Comanche, and I did say, oh, just need a bit of blade slap there, that was nice. I said it was going to be the last video. Well, it isn't. because I thought I'm going to do this practice video today. Oh, sorry, I'm going to do some helicopter practice today. So why not? Watch out for the seagulls. Why not record it? There's some lovely advertising there, Clifford. Well done, my friend. Right. Okay. So I think I have. Got my Huey legs back to a certain extent. I'm certainly by no means an expert, so let's get on course. So we're going to go and look at a few things, but mainly this is to give me the opportunity to get some practice in with regards to doing some manoeuvres, low speed, landing, taking off, that sort of thing. And Clifford's scenery is absolutely perfect for that, because there's lots of these little places that we can go to, and he's a very keen helicopter pilot himself, and this means he builds helicopter friendly stuff into it, which is blooming marvellous. And it's nice to fly his livery as well. It's never easy to fly the helicopter from the outside for me. Always have to be in it. As soon as I go into a funny view like that, it all goes a bit pear-shaped. Right, so I'm just climbing because there is a point on the top here. So I want us to get up to this point, and then we can have a look. Something I'm already remembering is what this helicopter does beautifully is simulates the change in how much anti-torque pedal you need to use at different speeds, at different collective settings, actually, more importantly. Already remembering that with a touch of fear, because I know what that means when trying to do some low speed landing, manoeuvring, that kind of stuff. It's something that I must admit I'm not particularly great at, and takes me a while to dial into it. But again, that's what this flight is about. This flight isn't for me, an expert, to show you how it works. This is a flight for me, a rookie, to entertain you with my practicing. So we've got up here, we've got what should be a nice landing pad. So I'm going to, yes, you guessed it, I'm going to attempt a landing. So let's just get a good view of what we're landing on. So that's what I'm talking about with the pedal there. Wobbly landing. But I'll be completely honest with you, it went better than I expected it to for my first landing in a while. I think we should pop outside here. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Oh, this is rather nice, isn't it? So we've got a lovely lovely cabin, chalet, whatever you want to call it up here. It's a bit more than a cabin, isn't it? Look at lovely views. What have we got over here? Nice little cabana there. Look at that. Look at that. Can you imagine? Hang on. Can you imagine being here? That's stunning. looking back up. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Right, let's see how close we got the helicopter to. Oh, that's not bad. I'm certainly not bragging, but that's not bad. Actually, quite relieved. Normally my landings aren't quite so close to the centre when I'm just starting on a flight where I haven't flown it for a while. Right, now what we got to do is take off without hitting the trees. Easy peasy, I hear you say. Let's hope so. Right, focus mode again. Back her out, away from the trees. Over the cliffside. Nothing to worry about there. It's a long way down. Let's go this way, please. See, this is what happens. Making a video, start chatting to you guys, and then before you know it, we're heading back towards the trees again. Concentration! If this is going to be a training mission, I need to take it seriously. Right, let's come over this way. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that I haven't got the pilot visible from exterior selected. So I do need to change that so that things look a bit better from the outside. So we're going to come up over this hilltop here. Oh, this is such a lovely helicopter. It really is. Just have a quick look down at the instruments to make sure everything's where it should be. So if we scoot along here, and we'll see what we find. I can't remember what this waypoint is actually. Feeling it's another little base, as it were, but we'll see when we get here. Lovely views. So we are coming up on it now, and I wonder if it's going to be on the other side of that. Yeah, we just okay, so I think I've missed it. So let's come back round. Can't beat a bit of blade slap. Who are the girls loving it? Seeing anything, so let's. I think it. Oh, hang on, what's that? There it is. Just peeking over the other side. Oh, we've got to take a look at that. That looks gorgeous. Right. Come round here in the descent. Always find it's very difficult when all you've got is the sea to look at. You really are having to rely on your instruments because you don't get that same kind of feedback as you do where you've got land. Right, there we can see more of that lovely trademark Clifford rock there. So much more realistic. Right, where's wind coming from? Wind's coming from that away. ferrying tourists around, couldn't we, doing this? So I'm going to come around from this direction, and then that should bring us nicely into wind. Lost sight of the pad, which is always a little bit concerning. And we're down. Yeah, it was interesting there. I don't know if you could sense it, but there was a point where all of a sudden the how can I describe it? There are times where it feels almost like the collective becomes unstuck a little bit, and suddenly you think you've got the collective dialed in, and all of a sudden you're having to, got to change the collective, got to change the pedal, and there's quite a few things that need doing. Let's have a look outside. Well, again, not too worried about the positioning there. It still could have been a little bit more centralised, but yeah, could have been a bit better, but it's near bad. It's another lovely place, isn't it? It looks like they've closed it up so that they don't get dodgy helicopter pilots suddenly turning up out of nowhere and landing on their property. Beautiful views. Yeah, I could quite happily spend a weekend here. Right, let's get going. Just dialing the map in a little bit. Okay. Let's pop over this way. Muscle memory. I suddenly realised I was holding on the trim release that I have in the H145, which obviously doesn't really do a great deal in the old Huey with that binding. So we're just going to come down here. We've got a nice mountain road, and this is something that Clifford has improved on. I'm not sure what the base sim looks like, but we can see we've got a mountain road here. And of course, if you've got something like the Juice Goose, you can drive up it. It's like something out of a film, isn't it? Beautiful. I love these little details. The fact that he's thought to put some rocks up here, wonderful. Beautiful. Right, let's have a look what's going on over here, because I've got another waypoint here. Actually, it's over that way, isn't it? Blade slap. Lovely little beach. Isn't it? Look at that. Wow. We're not going to land there, but it's certainly worth a closer look. How annoying. I don't know if anyone else gets it. Every now and again I get a blooming WinZip advert appearing on my screen. And I've not yet figured out how to get rid of it. I've paid for the I've got a paid for version, but I still get these damn adverts appearing. Okay, we're going to go and have a look over here. That looks like, is that a little waterfall? This is just a slice of heaven. Parked their yacht there, don't blame them. See the detail on this coastline here. So there's the little waterfall. Then we've got a beach. Low speed handling practice for me. Lovely, isn't it? And then we'll just come round this way. Detail on the rocks, stunning. Wow. Nice little beach scene there. Beach that we saw from a little bit higher. They're beautiful. Water effect there, courtesy of Parallel 42 SimFX. Just thought we'd froth up the waters a little bit. Right. Let's head back up this way. Something that does often surprise me, and it did there, if I'm being completely honest with you, is sometimes I was just doing a gentle descent to so that we could have a better look at the beach scene, and all of a sudden I had to apply a large amount of collective to stop us from sinking, and sometimes it does surprise me like that. Again, that's what a training flight is all about. That's why you know, flying around scenery like this is so good for practicing in helicopters, because there's the fun part of well, the whole thing is fun, but there's the fun part of flying around, looking at beautiful scenery and little details and things to see, and also in doing that you've got the opportunity to get some practice in. Okay, so we're just going to do a short flight across here. It's funny, isn't it? Whenever I'm in the Huey or the Llama, it does remind me, for fixed wing, I'm really not a fan of glass cockpit. And it's nice to be in the Huey or the Llama for the steam gauges and everything, but for some reason in the H145 I do love the helionic system. I think it goes well with the mission profiles. So I think I might be wrong. I've got a landmark waypoint here, so there must be something to look at, but it might just be precursor to moving into the next part of it. Let's have a look. I remember seeing something on the map about there being an accident site. I'm not seeing anything down there. I think that's the mountain road. I think that's marked as. See the detail again with the rock faces. So let's just follow this round. Important thing to say is you're not going to see all the scenery in this package. There is so much of it, and I've said on these videos before, I don't really want to show you everything because you know, it's a good thing to have a look yourself and to explore things. And I think this scenery, it's not new, it's been out for a bit, so you may have already seen it, but nonetheless it's fun to explore it. So I'm just going to follow this round, and then if I come this way, I'm hoping we might get a good look at what I'm expecting to see. I can see something there. Is that an ambulance? Yeah. Okay, so too high, too fast, but at least we can have a look at it, and we can land on between the fire engine and the ambulance. So let's have a look at that. It's worth a shot. Wind 9 knots coming from that direction, literally where the nose is pointing, I mean. Let's have another look. What have we got? Oh, you see the car has come off there. Okay, I'm going to go with nose into wind, as we should do. I can see that actually I can put it down on the road. Let's use some speed. Let's get control. Very tight. Correcting the pedal there, suddenly started wanting to go to the left. Okay, I think. Yeah, let's do that again. I think I probably just got into a sorry, concentrating. Yeah, I think I just got into a vortex there, because all of a sudden again I had to collective, it's like the collective just disconnected, and I suddenly had to put on a load of collective to try and get control again. So let's try that again. medium left pedal. I wanted to put it on the road just beyond there, but I think because of the wind direction, but we are so close to the ambulance there. Okay, let's have a look. Have we just shredded an ambulance and a fire engine? Well, I think we've certainly shredded the fire engine. It's always the same. You look at it from the outside and you think you could park an aircraft carrier there, but when you're actually in the helicopter, it feels very different. Interesting. This, of course, is where it's handy in real life, where you have a crew who are also giving you call outs. Okay, so mindful of the obstacles. I'm just going to try and scoot this way and back a bit. There we go. And back into wind, and let's on y va. So you can see what I mean by the fact that it is really very good for practicing. Right, let's come down here. Skirt along the beach a little bit. And we're going to head a little bit inland. You must spend hours looking around at the scenery and just thinking of where to place things. It's always nice seeing the shadow like that. So anyway, I hope you are well. How rude of me to not have asked. Very much looking forward now to 2024. The other day on my Comanche video, I said that I was feeling a little bit kind of indifferent about it. I'm not quite sure why, but I was. But I must admit, having spent a couple of days having another look, seeing some of the things that people are saying in the screenshots, I am really looking forward to it. I think I'd seen a few screenshots where it didn't feel like it looks that much different from 2020, and there was part of my brain thinking, oh, how long is it going to take to set all this up, get everything done, get all the third-party stuff working. But I think now, on reflection, having seen what it entails, having seen comments from people who I, really have got a lot of trust and respect for, I kind of really looking forward to it. I'm not sure what the first video is going to be. I have a feeling I know what it's going to be. And I think you might, if you are an avid follower of the channel, if there is an avid follower of the channel out there, I think you might know what it's going to be. It's the only reason I'm buying the premium whatnot jobby package. And when I bought Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, I only got the Billy Basic version because I wasn't interested in default, and I tend not to fly default. Never have done really. Always ended up third party just to get more realism, more features, and all that kind of stuff. But there is some good stuff in default. You know, they seem to have reached out more to certain good developers. High Performance Group, Got Gravel. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they've got. I've got a waypoint just up ahead. I think it's another. I think it's a little. Is it a little airstrip? Let's have a look. Mountains and helicopters. Beautiful. Oh, here's a nice sight. Look at this. What have we got here? Genuinely haven't flown this, so I am discovering it. And if you've not flown it before, we are discovering it for the first time. So I'm just going to come round so that we can get a proper look. Blades lamp. Look at that, the detail. Stunning. Oh, look at the birds. Let's take a closer look at that. A little resort or something like that here. See, he's gone as far as adding things all the way up that valley there, so you've got a nice stretch to look at. So we've got a bridge. See a hut there. Down there. There's the birds, keep away from them. Oh, we've got a waterfall. How beautiful is that? There's a little jetty there. You could probably certainly use that as a helicopter landing site. Look at that waterfall. I'm trying to keep above the birds. About to get into the birds. Do not really want smoke shredded pelican. Absolutely no idea. I'm not David Attenborough, so I've no idea what they are. I think they're pelicans. Look at that valley. This is beautiful. So atmospheric. Right, so let's fly down here. Keeping away from them. Absolutely stunning. There's a little hut. There's some detail there. I'll say it again because it's worth saying. If you're going to practice helicopter flying, this really is a great way of doing it. It really is. So many different places you can test yourself. There is another helicopter. You can see the windsock. Another helicopter pad there. I'm not going to do all of these because as much as this is a practice flight, I am making a video when there's only so much you can take. But it gives you an idea of what's available. Stunning. It's things like this that make helicopter flying in the sim just such a joy, because you know, obviously there are people who are only interested in flying airliners, and I totally get it. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I love exploring the world, and this is one of the things that I'm excited about doing in 2024, is exploring the 2024 world, plus some other things I've got planned out that I want to do. But it's just fantastic. It's something that you could do to a certain extent in P3D, but it's only really when you move to 2020 that you suddenly realise how much of a shift change there is in the realism of the world. And I know there are still some P3D people who struggle with that, because they don't see Microsoft Flight Simulator as a serious simulator. That's a whole other conversation. But this world is just incredible. I had to not discontinue. I had to remove P3D from my drive in the end, because I just wasn't using it. Every time I got into the aircraft, which are superb, no doubt about it, the A2A aircraft that I fly in there are just fantastic, but the world was kind of lacking. But I know a lot of you kind of know that anyway. You don't need me to say that. So, last waypoint before our, should I say this is the penultimate waypoint. And I've kind of set myself up in the wrong angle, because we're just something down there. Say down there, and I'm looking the wrong way. Let's come back across this side of the valley. It's the safest way of doing it. We'll do it this way. Look at that. There it is. A lovely waterfall. Detail is stunning. This is all Clifford's work. Creating these playgrounds to fly around in. Right, I have kept you long enough. Let's head to our landing site. And we need to give the helicopter back. Sounds. I'm kicking myself for not getting my VR sorted out, which I need to do I've not flown the Huey in VR yet, and I bet it's absolutely superb. I've got a valve index set up, and I've not used it since earlier in the year, and when I had some hardware changes, I didn't bother to reset it up, and I'm still on a 3080 Ti, so I haven't even got a 4 Series card, and it was alright in my previous setup. I just had a slower processor, really. That was the biggest difference. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what this is like, because I know the H145 in VR is just so incredibly immersive. Right, I'm just going to roll out the map because this might be a slightly tougher one to find, or it might be very easy, we'll see. I think it might be an easier one because it looks like it's right on the top of this here mountain. So we'll keep some forward momentum. See some rocks up on the top of the mountain, which is a good sign. Some Cli4D rocks. Yeah, that looks promising. And this could be our final destination. Our mountain hideaway. Cool, cold drinks. Excellent food. Wonderful views. Right, let's have a look. So wind is 10 knots coming from the right as we look at it. What have we got in the way of clearance if we've tried to... Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. Okay, so that's interesting. So windsock is not matching the wind in... and I know why. I know why. Okay. Let's come back over here. I've just realised I have a preset. I have the Parallel 42 cinematic preset, and my little nav map is reading real world weather. So I was just looking at the wind on little nav map and suddenly realised that of course they don't match. Is that another landing? So there's another landing pad there. We're going to take the rocky high one. Yeah, I've completely goofed this one up. Too high, too fast. Absolutely not happy with this at all. So let's come over. Let's not be silly. So with the wind in the sim, I actually need to be coming round from. I don't think the clearance is great, if I'm honest. Yeah. So I'm going to come from this side. Nice and stable, where I'm fully in control of it. Come over the trees here. Way too far. Oh. No, we are going to do that again. Try. I drifted too far forward then, and I was actually sitting there with a whole load of left cyclic on, and desperately trying to get back to a more central position without losing control and going into the building. And it wasn't really working, so best just to come out and have another look. visibility on the pad, please. As soon as you lose it behind the instrument panel combing, then that's when it all goes pear-shaped. You've got no real reference. The other thing, just realised that makes this tricky, is because there's no land on the other side, just the distant mountains, it makes it a little bit harder to judge. Okay, down. Let's look outside. Oh! Well, we're not even down. That's interesting. Is that because the tail rotor must be caught on something? Let's have a feel of that. Inched it forward a bit. Let's have a look. No, I think it just must be a mesh thing. Because I am definitely bottomed out. Let's try something. If I move away. No, I think there just must be something funny going on with my mesh. That's a beautiful location though, isn't it? It's like something out of a Bond film. I'm just going to try one more time just to inky it forward a little bit. I don't think that's made a bit of difference. No, we're still there. Oh well. There's obviously an invisible object that is making the helicopter think that it's touched down, because I've literally got nothing on the controls now. It's just sitting there. But look at that view. Absolutely beautiful. Really nice. Anyway, thank you as always for joining the flight. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's always a pleasure to have you along. It's always a pleasure to share this love of helicopters, and also to combine me practicing with making videos and just sharing the love of it. So take care of yourselves, and I shall see you again on the channel very soon. Bye bye now.